My name is Zach. I am the traveling man, and behind me here we have Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm on board the Carnival Sunshine, where I'm about to embark on a 5-night sailing down to the Bahamas. So come on, let's get this Carnival adventure started. So this is my first time on the Carnival Sunshine. The Carnival Sunshine had a major refurbishment back in 2013. They completely gutted what was formerly the Carnival Destiny and came up with the Carnival Sunshine. It was one of the first Carnival ships to feature a lot of the more modern appearances and the modern venues that Carnival has across its newer fleet of ships today. So really excited to be on this ship. Like I said, 5 days. We're going to have a stop in Bimini, my first time ever in Bimini, and then also a stop in Nassau. So lots to share with you. This cruise vlog series. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button, because you're not going to want to miss a minute of the action from here on board the Carnival Sunshine. I'm staying in stateroom 8177. It's a standard balcony cabin here on deck 8. So I'll give you a brief little tour and we'll go inside the bathroom. And I was actually pleasantly surprised the first time I saw this just a few minutes ago that the shower takes up the whole portion of the wall. It's not a corner shower. Usually it's a corner shower on Carnival ships, the older ships. So I'm glad it's an actual like full length or almost full length shower, at least for a cruise ship. It's pretty big for Carnival standards. And then you have just your standard little sink over here, and the only amenities you're getting is soap. That's all, y'all. They also have the standard shower gel and shampoo in the closet. Coming outside the bathroom, you do have your standard closets that you have on all the ships, so no need to look at that. Here's just the desk area, vanity area, little couch in here. Of course, king size bed made from 2 full beds put together. There is also an option in this room for an upper pull down bed, which is not going to be necessary. And then of course the best part about the stateroom is the balcony. And this is actually 2 balconies put together. I'm traveling with someone this cruise, so we got a room that had a partition that was able to be opened, so the partition is open. And so this is actually 2 standard balconies just with the partition open. So pretty standard stateroom for Carnival, pretty standard balcony. I will say this ship does show its age quite a bit. I mean, there's one example. Another example, we have to go back out on the balcony. See, the doorknob is like really decrepit. It's also very rusty, this door. The ship itself, the superstructure of the ship, actually was built in like the 95. I think the Destiny debuted in 1996, and when this ship debuted, it was actually the largest cruise ship in the world. So ahead of its time back in the day, but it is only 103 gross tons now, so it's actually not that big compared to some of the ships we have on the sea. It's also pretty dirty out here on the balcony, I've noticed. Just first glimpse and being out here for a few minutes. The chairs are pretty dirty. There's like very rusted balcony, so the handrails here are pretty dirty and they have paint splattered all over them. So just a few early things that I've noticed that I wanted to point out now for you. We're here in the port of Charleston, and I will talk just a minute about what check-in's like, because check-in is completely unique here in Charleston. The embarkation process is different than just about anywhere else you're going to cruise from, and we'll talk about that. It's a very disjointed process. But a beautiful day. Temperature currently about 55 degrees. It's breezy. It is mid-February, and we're about to head out pretty soon to the Bahamas. on from a sea day. Look out. It's a beautiful morning. Good morning, everyone. It has now been almost a full day since the last time I talked to y'all. I'm actually traveling this cruise with my parents, so I'm not going to be vlogging as intensively as I normally do because I want to spend time with them and just enjoy the cruise. But I do want to show you some things about the Carnival Sunshine, because the Carnival Sunshine is a ship that I've wanted to sail on for many years. Back in 2013, as I stated, the ship came out right around the time when I started sailing with Carnival Cruise Line, so I was always intrigued with it, but just never had the opportunity. But now we're here on the Sunshine, so I'm going to be able to tell you whether or not she lived up to my expectations and what I thought all these years. We are headed down to Bimini. We'll be there tomorrow. Today's a day at sea. Then we'll be at Nassau. Then we'll have one more day at sea back up to Charleston. So a 5-day cruise down in the Bahamas. It's going to be my third time in Nassau in the first 2 months of 2022. So yeah, not sure what I'll get into there. But regardless of that, it's going to be a great cruise. Right now, just it's 9 a.m. so just getting ready for Sea Day brunch. Sea Day brunch is one of my favorite times to dine on Carnival. I love their Sea Day brunch. I always have. I loved it even more when it was the punch liner brunch because they had that French toast with the cereal on it. It was really good. I don't think they have that anymore, but I do like the brunch. You're going to head down there. I will say, this is my platinum cruise with Carnival. I finally reached platinum status. Back when I was loyal to Carnival and only sailing with Carnival, I just couldn't wait for the day that I would turn platinum, and that's finally happened. Yesterday I got my platinum card, so I'm really proud of that, really excited about that. So just going to live it up here on my platinum cruise, and I'm going to show you some of it as well. Oh, I will mention here, speaking of eating, we did go to JiJi's Asian Kitchen last night, and unfortunately I did not take any pictures or video of that, but it was an amazing meal. JiJi's, I've eaten there a couple times on the Vista when I've sat on the Vista, and it was so good. But I was really happy that it was on the Sunshine. So good, really good meal, so much food, especially when you have multiple people, because each person gets an appetizer, they get an entree, and then they get a dessert, but everything is shared, so everything's brought out in like a family style portion. So it's a lot of food, but it was very good. So highly recommend JiJi. If you're coming on the Sunshine, enough about food. I'm going to go eat some food. So I'm going to go to brunch, and I'll catch up with y'all later to talk a little bit about the embarkation process in Charleston. We need to talk about that. That was, yeah, I'll tell you about that in just a bit. everyone, later Zach here. As promised, I did want to touch on that embarkation process just a little bit because, as I said, it is quite a bit different in Charleston. This was my first time sailing out of Charleston, South Carolina, and it's a very disjointed process. We arrived by car because I was with my parents, so we arrived probably about 9:30. I had a 10 a.m. or 10:30, I don't remember exactly which, but it was the earliest you could get since I was platinum. At 16 days out ahead of the cruise, I was able to go on, check in, and I got the earliest time I could get. So we were there in the parking lot about 9:30, and about 9:45 they actually let parking start. So the first stop, you pay. The next stop is you're directed to stop at the porter station, and you actually get out of your car here. One person gets out of your car, go to your trunk, you get out the luggage, whatever luggage you have in your car, give it to the porters. Then you're free to go around and park, and there's folks all around the parking lot, and they're directing you, and they actually tell you which spot to actually park in. After that, you get out of your car, you walk to this warehouse-looking building, and you'll see all sorts of folks directing you over there. But this is where you're actually going to show your boarding pass. This is where you're going to show your vaccine card, your any kind of COVID test, any kind of required paperwork, documents, your birth certificates, your ID, your passport, etc. You're going to show this as soon as you get inside this building. But keep those documents out because I thought I was done and they stamped it and everything, my boarding pass, to show that I had all the documentation I needed. So I was like, good, I'm done. And then they're like, all right, go to this next building. And I thought that's where we were going to be waiting to actually board the ship. Not so. I get to the next building and then they call me up to booth number 17. I think there were about 20 booths. And they're like, all right, number 17, they hold the sign up. I walk up there. They want to see my documents yet again. So make sure from the time you walk inside that warehouse there in Charleston, all the way into the next building or the next room that you go in, you keep your paperwork out because you're going to have to show it multiple times. Now, once they checked my paperwork here, they gave me another stamp on my boarding pass and I was checked in, good to go. They asked us to take a seat because they weren't quite ready to start boarding the ship yet. But I think right around 11 o'clock, 11:15, somewhere around in there was when they were actually ready. Now, there's not an actual port building there right at the pier in Charleston, so you actually have to board a shuttle that will take you over to the building where you go through security. So when it was ready for our boarding group, they called A1. We got up, walked out of the building, got on a shuttle bus. The shuttle bus then drove us from the little warehouse check-in building over to the ship. We go into this other building, wait in another line to go through security right before getting on the ship. Then we proceeded up the stairs, through the gangway, and on to the Carnival Sunshine. So it was a multi-step process. There was a lot of different buildings and lines and places to wait involved. I can't say that I enjoyed it. I did actually have to go back to the car after going through security. I realized I forgot something at the car and had to get on a bus, be taken back to the car, then had to go get on another bus to get back to that building, to go back through security. It was a mess. I don't think there's ever going to be a port built at Charleston because the residents there aren't for cruise ships being in the port. In fact, we had to do a silent debarkation on the last day of the cruise because of the noise complaints from residents. So they couldn't just come over the PA on the ship and say, okay, we're now calling zone 1 to disembark the ship or whatever. So it was all silent. They couldn't make any announcements while they're actually in port. So that was interesting. And they also were like, please don't set off your car alarm. Whatever you do, don't set off your car alarm because there's like apartments right next to the parking lot and apparently they get a lot of complaints from folks that live there. So that's my piece about the embarkation process at Charleston. I highly do not recommend it. So if you are close to Charleston, you want to try it out, absolutely, Charleston's a great city, a great place to visit. But just know that it could be a lot different than what you're used to on embarkation day. And because it is my first platinum cruise, I get my first chocolate delight. This is one of the perks being platinum on Carnival. You get a chocolate delight every time you sail with Carnival. There's some macarons there, there are chocolate covered strawberries, and there's a chocolate covered whatever that is. So, yum. It is now the second night of the cruise, and I have been so inconsistent with vlogging and talking to you like actually here on the ship. But I did want to say tonight was elegant night, and I tried something different in the main dining room tonight, and I actually tried Steakhouse Selections from that menu, and it was a disappointment. It's $20 upcharge, and I got the surf and turf, which is lobster tail and a piece of fillet. The fillet was very tough. The fillet was not cooked well. It was overcooked. It was too done. And the lobster tail itself was just very tough. It almost resembled the lobster that you used to get on Carnival. They might still have lobster if you're on a 6-night sailing. I'm not sure. But it resembles that lobster, the free lobster in the main dining room. So would not recommend you doing that upcharge, or at least what I got tonight wasn't good. The best part of the meal was the Sicilian meatball soup that I got for my appetizer, y'all. That was some good stuff. I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that I got that, and I got creme brulee for dessert. So that's going to wrap up this combined embarkation day and first day at sea. Tomorrow we're going to be in Bimini, and I'm going to have a vlog coming out for you shortly on Bimini, showing you what you can do. It's a relatively new port, so showing you what all you can do in Bimini, what all you might expect if you're headed there soon. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, as it does help out my channel. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next adventure tomorrow from Bimini. Good night, everybody.